Center for the Ethiopian Educational Information and Communication Technology presents Educational Satellite Television Programs.
Hello, teacher. Hello, students. Welcome to today's lesson on communication. Previously, we learned some social expressions we can use to clarify a statement and those we can use to clarify our own statements. Many forms of human communication are verbal, but today, we will be talking about communication in a very different way. This discussion is about communication in the animal world. Are you ready? Let us begin. Students, we will begin with an activity. On page 38 of your textbook, you will find a passage on animal communication. Remember to write down any words you do not understand in your vocabulary notebook. Please read the passage silently, and I will see you in a few minutes.
Students, let's get ready. Begin. Time's up! Let's get back to our lesson.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you found the passage as interesting as I did. Obviously, there is a great deal of information communicated about animals here. Let us identify the purpose of this article and what it is trying to convey. Here is another activity, students. Please answer the following questions.
Students, let's get ready. Begin. Time's up. Let's get back to our lesson.
Hello again. I am sure you had no trouble answering these questions if you were able to understand the passage. But let us go through each together to make sure. To answer the first question, when a chimpanzee shrieks, it is communicating a warning to other members of its group. For the second answer, predators commonly track prey by their scents because all animals produce a distinctive scent. The reason the meow sound is so interesting is because it is believed that domestic house cats exclusively use this to communicate with humans. The next question asks you to suggest where this passage might be found. Given its content, it is likely we would find it in a nature magazine. Based on this, we can also assume the purpose of the text is to inform. While there are entertaining aspects to the article, a large portion of the passage is devoted to explaining facts about animal communication. Were these your answers? If so, good job. The article tells us that animals communicate in many more ways than we realize, including nonverbal communication. Animals use these skills to communicate threats to their families and warn their enemies not to attack. They also use them to express a range of feelings such as anxiety or excitement. Let us consider some animals that are not in the article. Get ready for an activity, everyone. These are Walia ibex, an endangered species that is indigenous to Ethiopia. Two of the young ibex appear to be fighting with one another. Are they? After you have determined the answer, explain how this answer was communicated to you.
Students, let's get ready. Begin. Time's up! Let's get back to our lesson.
Welcome back, students. Are you ready to discuss your results? The two Walia ibex in this video are not fighting, but sparring with one another. Ibex often do this as a form of play, but also to strengthen their horns and express affection towards a sibling. There are a few indicators that help make it clear that these ibex are family. You may notice that one ibex poses in the air before charging into the other ibex to lock horns. The ibex holds its position in the air momentarily as a form of warning for the other ibex to be prepared for a charge. You may also notice that they only ever charge at another ibex from above, so as to avoid hitting their siblings with the points of their horns. Also, many animals will communicate with sounds while fighting in an attempt to drive off or scare away a predator. Here, the ibex are completely silent, suggesting there is little to no aggression between the two. If you were able to gather any of this information simply by looking, you were very observant. Good job. Human beings also have many ways to communicate non-verbally, such as display communication. This is often called body language. This kind of communication is a particularly effective way for people to communicate with animals such as dogs. In many cases, a person who tries to teach a dog to learn different commands will communicate with body language to ensure the dog understands. Here, a trainer commands his dog to sit by lowering his hand. The dog recognizes this as a signal to respond to his owner and sits down. Birds are well known for communicating visually through colors and shapes. Many mating practices between birds involve presenting their features to a member of the opposite sex, such as the peacock described in the passage earlier. In some cases, birds, such as these ones, exhibit some very strange practices to get attention. This concludes today's lesson. We have learned about animal communication. We have discussed some of the behaviors of animals during communication and some of the patterns that exist in communication between animals and human beings. Until next time, thank you, teacher. Thank you, students.